your summer season has been a good one with your team. The workouts that you've been doing, I hope you've been practicing some of the drills we've been talking about. Before we get started, I wanted to congratulate some folks that are important to my basketball acumen. Both of my coaches, my junior high coach and my high school coach, have both been inducted into the Illinois Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame over the last couple of years. Two guys that I played with. Well, let me first introduce the two coaches, Coach Long and Coach Harpster. Congratulations. And then two guys that I played with, Michael McCain and Sean Poppy, both inducted. Congratulations. And one of the co-super softs, April Segerbrook, congratulations to you as well. Well deserved. Well deserved. I want to start. The reason that I introduced that is because the coaches that I know have brought history and those types of things in front of us to bring confidence, to let us know that we can develop to that level. And I hope that you're finding those types of people to look after to help you develop to that level as well. When I think about those three, you're probably asking yourself, how come those guys aren't giving me the videos on what to do better, and it's you, Uncle Nick? Well, I mean, I'm your uncle. I'm what you got. So sorry, but this is the best that you get. But when I think about those folks, I think about a couple things that got them to that level, and I reflect back on kind of places where I could have developed more. So the things that they possess is athleticism, and then talent and skill, which are kind of interchangeable depending on who you're talking to. And then finally, their ability to grow. And that's the skill we're going to be talking about, which can be applied to any skill. The idea is that you would measure yourself currently, have a good understanding of what you're currently good at, where your opportunities currently lie. You implement change or drills, those types of things, and then from there measure yourself again. And this is how we keep track of growth. So what we're going to talk about today is a drill to first measure your shooting skills. We'll talk about different ways that you can measure yourself within this drill. And then I want you to consistently, maybe it's every couple weeks or every month, measure yourself and see, okay, how am I doing? Where are my strengths? How can I use that information of what I'm good at and what I'm not so good at to determine how you play within your specific offense. And we'll talk a little bit more about why it matters what your offense is, as well as your current role as we go forward. So I've laid out some different spots on the floor, very common spots that we shoot from, right at the block, the soft post area, soft corner. This position is about 15 feet. Same thing here. These are most of the time coming off screens, or maybe in fast break situations, you'll be at these different positions, okay? And it matches on the other side. And you might say, well, Uncle Nick, which spot should I focus on? And that question takes some reflection on what is your current role within the teams that you're playing on. So if your current role is a post player, obviously you should focus your current development in this lower area and master these things so that you can help your team with the things they need you to help with, like rebounding, boxing out, setting low post screens because they need you in that area, but then also being able to score from those same points, because as we set screens, as we box out, we get rebounds, or we flash to the ball, we get scoring opportunities. So you should really focus down low first if that's your role. But if you're a forward or a guard, we should also add these 15-foot areas, possibly the three-point line, if you're strong enough to do that. So first, set out about 10 different shots. They could be all from the right side, and that's what you're practicing, or all from the inside, or all from 15 feet. Determine what exactly is going to be your measuring stick, and use that both at the beginning to determine what your current successes are and what your opportunities are, and then go back and measure it again. So this first drill that I want us to think about is two different speeds. We have the speed when nobody's guarding us, right? We don't always have to shoot super fast. If nobody's on me, perhaps I created separation with one of my dribbles and this person's here, I can shoot at a slower pace, and I need to know what that feels like and practice that. So I'll shoot that at the lower pace. Now there's also going to be situations where you're coming off screens and you've got to shoot it at a faster pace because you maybe have a defender trailing you. So let's say that I'm coming off the screen, I'm going to go to the same exact spot, but I've got to shoot it a lot faster, right? So my trigger my trigger is going to be a lot quicker for the specific situation that I'm in. All right, so we want to practice both, because I don't always want to shoot really fast if I don't need to, because I can increase my shooting percentage by getting a nice, even, slower stroke, and I can make sure to get my legs under me. So the other things that let's say that you practice this for a little bit. Some of the other things to consider is, are you coming forward into this shot, right? So if my momentum is going forward, if my energy is going forward, I need to put less on that shot, right? Because now I have my body energy to go with my release, and all of that energy combined is going to send that ball where I want it to go. Now, additionally, could I be, like we talked about, breaking off a defender and shooting backwards? That change in momentum creates a different release point, right? So I need to practice what that feels like to get down into my hips and then shoot it higher and further up. So those are some of the drills, the measurements that I want you to focus on as you go forward. So what are drills that you can measure? You can measure, our heel ball. What's that feel like? Does it feel comfortable when you're doing your shooting? We can measure coming off screens and what that feels like, heel ball, right? We can measure doing our ball around our ankles and our knees. How quick am I getting through that, right? What is my hand position? How quick, when I toss the ball out, do I catch that hand position? All of those different changes, all of those different drills are ways that I can implement change within my specific skill that I'm trying to work on, and then measure it. Additionally, how much better am I getting because of that? Are there other drills? Can I be more creative? What does my mind think about when I'm at these different positions? And then finally, what does the offense dictate for me? So if my role is to be in the post, I shouldn't practice three-pointers all the time, right? And if my best shot is at 15 feet, I need to figure out ways to dribble better, to shake my defender to get to those positions. One of those people that I mentioned earlier, April Segerbrook, had this crossover that she would cross her girl over, and I bet she could comment on this if she wants to, I bet she took 200 shots her senior year from around the same position, because she had a skill that she had developed to the point that it hurt her back, sorry about that, but then also shook a defender and got herself in a position where she took a shot that she was very comfortable with, very confident at, and that ability to identify and take advantage of that skill that she had created so many scoring opportunities and made her that much more valuable to future teams. So what we want to think about here is measuring ourselves, understanding how good we are currently at a skill, implementing drills, willingness to change as a desire to grow and get better at these skills, recognizing there's people way better than us, right? Even the best players in the world look and do these types of things in order to improve their game, and then finally continuing to measure and understand, where our growth has been. So consider that as you go forward. I've got some other ones that are coming up, but that's what I got for you for now.